the urge. Busy diagrams reflect for the leaders get this dirge. Yeah, do ya hit them with this dirge? Yeah, about to get what they deserve. Yeah. What do women love for was like a lioness of love. Her children were like lions, Julia lions, Judah cubs. One of her lions booms was strong and blind through light. Prepared to catch prey and eat men of bad lights. The nations called the hunters, trapped him in a pit. Brought him in chains to twin towers of Egypt. When Israel, the mother lion, saw hope for him was gone, she took another of her cubs, taught her to be strong in the end, of the beginning, forever and a day made long. In the end manifest stages, they will sing this death dirge song. Take up the sickle, drew your pencils bold. Speak of the lioness, fierce and untamed. She lay among the lions, fierce and cold, nurturing her cubs, their destinies framed. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray, from pride to pit that path from trying to see. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray, from pride to pit that path from trying to see. Another cub she chose, hope unfulfilled. He prowled among lions, strength in his stride. Tearing prey, man eats her destiny fulfilled. Strongholds tumble, towns they bear were worldwide. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray, from pride to pit that path and trying to see. In Babylon's cage, the first cub confined, his roar silenced mountains wept for his fall. The vine, once fruitful, now withered and maligned. East winds whispered sorrow, branches lost to burn. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray, from pride to pit that path and trying to see. Desert bound, the vine stands alone. Fire consumes its fruit, rulers' rules are lost. No strong branch remains, destiny overthrown. This sickle traveling through time at all heads cost. I will sing this to right. I cannot fight the urge. And though I go through valleys wild and free, for the leaders get this dirge. Yeah, Julia hit them with this dirge. Yeah, about to get what they deserve. Yeah. When Israel, the mother lion, saw hope for him was gone, she took another of her cubs, taught her to be strong. In the end, of the beginning, forever and a day made long. In the end manifest stages, they will sing this death dirge song. I will sing this to direct, I cannot fight the urge. Easy Ikaya grunts backs for the leaders, get this dirge. Yeah, Julia hit them with this dirge. Yeah, about to get what they deserve. Yeah. When Israel, the mother lion, saw hope for him was gone, she took another of her cubs, told her to be strong. In the end, the mother lion saw hope for him was gone, she took another of her cubs, taught her to be strong. In the end, of the beginning, forever in a day made long. In the end manifest stages, they will sing this death dirge song. I cut the sickle to your prince's bold. Speak of the lioness, fierce and untamed. She lay among the lions, fierce and cold, nurturing her cubs, their destinies framed. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray, from pride to pit that path and trying to see. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray, from pride to pit that path and trying to see. Another cub she chose, hope unfulfilled. He prowled among lions, fierce and untamed. Till lay among the lions, fierce and cold, nurturing her cubs, their destinies framed. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. cubs are straying from pride to pick their path and trying to see.
In Babylon's cage, the first cub confined. His roar silence mountains but for his fall. The vine, once fruitful, now withered and aligned. East winds whispered sorrow, branches lost to gold.
What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate's overtail let her cubs are straying from pride to pick that path and trying to see.
There's a town, the vine stands alone. Fire consumes its fruit, bull's rules are lost. No strong branch remains, destiny overthrown. They say go traveling, but tide at all heads cost. In Babylon's cage, the first cub confined. His roar silence mountains wait for his fall.
Greater light. Greater light, greater light. Let's get this party started, right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Raise those palms, raise those palms, raise those palms. I got a song. You can go look for the songs. You can go to playlist and look for the songs about the palms. I got a song about the palms. My mind is God's mind. Wait a minute. Let me. Y'all got y'all whistles? I heard some whistles blowing in a service today. They know. Well, I know why they know. Send out them frequencies. Don't blow the ram. Blood sacrifice ram horn. Don't do that. If you could get you a conch shell or a wooden flute or a wooden or anything metal, yeah, you could get anything. But don't. Uh-oh. What I done did. My mind is God's mind. Woo. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I am always poised, balanced, serene, and calm because I know God has provided the perfect solution to every single one of my needs. You can say amen. You can say Selah. You can say Shamalamala. You can say whatever it is that makes you a witness to whatever God has done for you, gonna do for you. And hopefully you accept that he will take care of you. God's got it that he'll take care. Hopefully you accept that. But if you haven't, you may not believe in God. You may not want to believe in God. But at the end, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess who God is. God above all gods. Not just God above all gods. God is not Lord of Lords. They put that in there, have us reciting that stuff. God is not King of Kings. God is creator of kings and creator of lords. President Modi, Prime Minister Modi, he called himself Lord of Lords. You can't put God on the same level as any man that called himself Lord of Lords. King James called himself King of Kings. God is creator of the kings and the lords. How about that? Let's get these words and pronunciations right and proper for the Most High, who is on the way and keeping his promises. He's following the script. God, you following the script? Yeah, I know you following the script. God is following the script. Look, their ceremonies, as they continue with their death ceremonies and their bath ceremonies and their ceremonies to raise up their new shepherd, they new demonic shepherd, as they celebrate those, continue with their ceremonies, they final ceremonies before the crossover, the final ceremonies before the cross. I hope you are doing things to keep the frequencies right, because when they send them women out there, it's not about these women being the first. It's not about their money that put them up there, huh? It is a whole demonic Solomon's house ceremony. It is a ceremony to give rebirth. That's why the ship itself is shaped like a penis, huh? These women are going up there according to their DNA code. These women were chosen according to their DNA code. Now, Bezos' fiance, that was just a mishap. He got as close as he could get to his wife. And I'm pretty sure his wife then gave warnings to that lady. But he probably got it making looking like his wife was so crazy or whatever. Huh? Oh yeah, y'all just wait till I get to this Blue Origin story. And I am going to continue where I left off yesterday with Matthew. If you're interested in knowing what I was talking about yesterday, you could go to the live that happened yesterday and briefly scan through. You don't have to stay over there and get all engulfed in it, because if you study in the show, you're self-approved, you won't be over here long. You'll take some information and go run with it. You say, oh no, what grandma said? Oh, let me go look that up and go spread the message to all the world in this generation. To all the world in this generation. There's people who truly, they've been studying the Bible all their lives, and they still got their heart and mind set on the funds and living and riches and the wealth of what they plan on handing you out to accept the mark of the beast, because you're going to have to accept the mark of the beast in order to be able to live financially stable and well. When they transition over, you will have to purchase your light. They cannot trick you. They can no longer deceive you. That's why this whole year is about, and this transition is about, the year of transparency. And according to contractual agreement between heaven and earth, in this last and final war, they cannot deceive you. And there are those who study diligently and are still have a scales over their eyes. They cannot see. So they're preaching and they're teaching not about preparation to guard your light, but teaching you about generational wealth and being attached to this land, and not through the cleansing that God is going to do for the land. So when you get trapped in their virtual reality set for the next 1,000 years, if you were living in a environment of wealth and prosperity, believe me, you were left behind. You were left behind, and it isn't going to last long, because they are raising their demon according to Revelation. That's if you believe in the Bible. A lot of people read the Bible, they study the Bible, they teach it, but they don't truly believe in these words and the prophecies, and that Jesus is the witness of the spirit of prophecy, and that this Bible from front to back is prophetic. And even though they switched up the words and did everything they can, they did so much to try to keep people from awakening. They made it to the point where people don't even want to read the Bible. They don't want to know about God. You mention God to them, they will turn, they will cuss you out, they will call you a hoe, you believe in magic. And Jesus didn't even come doing magic. The magic came out of Solomon's house with his 72 demons and his 300 wives and his dirty mama Bathsheba. And they still practicing to this day. And the thing is, that same star, the symbol that wasn't supposed to carry on that way, that is symbol is a sign of Solomon coming out of the house of David. Yes, of course, Solomon came out of the house of David, but Solomon turned his back on God. Solomon said, God, I don't care how many times you come to me, I'm wiser than you. God let him know how it was going to go down, and he still turned his back on God. You follow Solomon? Then there was the other line. Abigail came out of the line of Judah. Daniel is a product of Abigail and David. When you see the anonymous written in Psalms, that was Abigail's writings. David didn't write all the Psalms. He took some of the Psalms and allowed what was brought out of the line of Judah, he allowed it to be put in the script once he was saved. So everything that's happening that has to do with magic and witchcraft comes straight out of Solomon's house. That's why he preach and teach about you looking for signs and miracles. Signs and miracles and great wonders come out of Egypt. They come from the Sadducees and the Orthodox Jews. And within the heart of the house of Solomon, you see the remnants of it as Israel blowing up last hospitals, according to their information. You know, that information is over there on the other side, and it's rumors, but it's rumors that's sweeping over to this side in the breeze, in the air. And it's saying that Israel is dirty as they are, bombing out the hospitals. So the children that get, okay, say the adults, we don't want to include it, just the children that need help and healing. They don't even have a hospital now to go to. The last functional hospital, they say, we hate so much, we don't want to just blow up your resources. We want to make sure we blow up places where you can get healing and help if you survive what it is we doing. That's coming out of the house of Israel, y'all. Keep telling the people that don't know and study to show themselves approved. They think Israel and Judah is the same house. Now, all of the houses began with Israel. But when Israel became manifested under the house of witchcraft and sorcery through Solomon's house with his 72 demons, spiritual wickedness in high places, things changed. And you see the remnants of that right now. What happened then and happened now is happening again, but for the last time. Now, the blue origin is, in retrospect, facilitating a ceremony to continue the path of the house of Solomon. And because they think they're going to win this final battle, they doing it, let me see, with cockiness. Like yippee, yippee. What's that word that Trump used? They get a little yippee. They were getting a little yippee. And then he kind of switched it over. They getting a little yippee here. Now, there's so many ways that I could talk about this Blue Origin ceremony that's happening tomorrow. But of course, grandma don't bring it like how everybody else bring it. Uh, because I use the word in association with whatever it is that I see. Now, let's get it started. Let's go. Um, no, I'm gonna read you a portion of what they said in the one of the articles. Okay, I'm gonna read you a portion. I have to read this portion so that when you go and you look at the short that I put, you'll see exactly what I mean. I'm trying to find exactly where it said, if all goes well. It said, if all goes well. Now, the first short that I put, y'all could get ready for Jeff Bezos' pity party. They didn't want me to really push that thought. But according to all the documents and according to this season and the time and following their ceremonies, according to even the historical ways that the Romans and the Greeks followed the ceremonies of sacrifice to do the reset and reconstruction of time, this falls right in suit. Remember, the days of the week have been changed so many times. The calendar has been changed so many times. So there's the reason why I made the statement I made yesterday. If a 7-day Adventist or a Sabbath keeper or somebody took it personal, that's on you. Because you still can't stop the truth. The truth of the matter is, you don't know what day you're celebrating if the calendar was changed and the names and the titles was given under the names of gods and demons. And then if Jesus said that Moses' law was written and ordained under a curse, so let's take and say, for instance, that tomorrow is the original day in a realm without a title on it or a word on it. That is the original Sunday. That Monday is the original Sunday. So the Sabbath keepers and the Sunday keepers got the day wrong. And Monday is the true Sabbath. Just say, for instance. So for the realm or the as above, so below concept that Solomon's house would be using, is tomorrow is their Palm Sunday. And the reason why they would send 6 women, I told y'all, every demon or demonic worshiper, every cultist, demonic cult, all these different societies are honoring and reaching out to their women, their mother or matriarchic form of origin, except for us. So Solomon's house is reaching out. I showed y'all where Ukraine reached out to their matriarchal system. Of course, UK, they reached out under the guise or gist of Orion or Oriona. Now, in order to have a new shepherd and a new birth, they use 6 women, and each one of them is a representative of a phenotype, which you will not no longer be judged by the color of your skin or your physical makeup, but your light code. And your light code, every code about you is written on your DNA. So the aspects of the foundation of these women that are sent up there, not just based on their name or their historical genetic code, but what is written on their DNA code from times past. And the blue origin, again, is transparent in the fact that it is resurrecting their new shepherd. Now, remember, I told y'all anything that's going to happen that's going to be disastrous, if there's going to be, like, even that helicopter, they mentioned, if you go type in helicopters and propellers and what was wrong with helicopters, they put it in the Federal Register before that incident happened. I don't have to wait and watch news. Their tablets is prophetic to what they want to happen. So I keep saying to you, I am not prophetic. I study to show myself approved reading, not only the holy tablets by Dr. Malachi Z. York, but the tablets that were written and broken up and transcomposed and reconstructed and trying to be confused in these books, in these tablets, and their tablets. Their tablets is the Federal Register. So I didn't put out a short that says that these women signed a living sacrifice contract, knowing the percentage of, or the chances that they may not make it back down to earth again. They signed it anyway into order to be a matriarchal mother of history. No, yes. Not only that, they are insured. No, grandma, you reading into too much and you wishing things on them. No, I'm not. Okay, let's go to Federal Register. Let me do this. Let's go to Federal Register. Federal Register. The first thing, remember when I explained to you before any of what's his name, Elon Musk's things blew up in Federal Register, they always have a provision that lets you know there's a chance that this thing may happen, or when it happens, or it is going to happen. Now, they have already put out a special permit for the Blue Origin. Remember, I told y'all when they say pipeline, they not talking about pipelines. They're not talking about underground pipelines. They're talking about their pipeline of the virtual system and simulations that they use to recreate circumstances and instances that is beneficial to their monetary system and their spiritual system. So this here is a document. There go Mr. Burger. Make it special when you at Burger King for the Blue Origin modification. Some of these companies I went over with you already. Some of these technology companies, but they all have a part in what's happening tomorrow. So that's the first document about hazardous and material safety administration and the task. The same thing, the event that's going to happen tomorrow, there'll be an event that happens in Alaska at the same time, or right about the time, or within the opening of the portal. Let me get out of there. Let me get out of there. Here's some more information. So you would go to Blue Origin and type in Blue Origin, and you see all the documents that is leading up to this information that's happening tomorrow. As a matter of fact, let me put the newest information, and let's see. Intercoastal Waterway Patrol, blue lights that don't have anything to do with Blue Origin. It may very well, but I'm not going to click that right now. I don't want to click into the flashing lights, the energized flashing lights and Blue Security Zone and the channels that they'll be using. That's why I'll be blowing my conch shell. The fluorocarbons, electronics for Blue Origin, Florida. Manufacturer mark scale, deactivate prior to transport. Who will they be deactivating prior to transport? Deactivation prior to transport. The Joyson safety, the Trinity, the Boyd, Windward. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at the Caterpillar, the U.S. Army of Engineers, Eaton and Palisades Fires. California will be having, what right here, this whole list right here is stuff that's going to be happening and being activated in when they open up that portal tomorrow. All of this right here, the transfer flow. I would love to take, if I had the time on my hand, to go through the different areas and say to somebody in Italy, look, be careful. To say to somebody, beware, not beware. Look, the Crowley liner. I was just thinking about my grandmother this morning. The Crowley liner, not to beware like you need to run and hide, but to beware, to make sure that you are born again and that you are right on the inside and that you don't have any hate, because the seed of hate is what they betting on. The seed of confusion is what the seed of depression, the seed of sickness, the seed of unhappiness, all the different seeds that have been planted in their yeast. What yeast? The yeast that I was talking about yesterday, the yeast that Jesus said, you think I'm talking about food? Beware the yeast. As a matter of fact, let me type that part in. Let me type that part in, and then I'm going to go on back. Let's go here to Federal Register when I was talking to y'all yesterday about yeast and why Jesus said, beware of their yeast. And I told y'all you have to be careful even when you washing your hands about their yeast, huh? And all the yeast means the doctrine, false prophecies and false doctrine, and them not telling you everything, making you have to go. And that's what yeast is. They teaching you certain things and tell you it's going to be all right. The false doctrine and false prophecies is they saying to you it's going to be all right. You don't have to look and be prepared for God to come, because it ain't no God coming. God ain't coming for you. Jesus didn't rise and go to heaven. That's just a good story. He's not coming back. That's just a good story. The false doctrine is making you think that we the only planet that exists. We're the only planet that is not obedient to God. We're the only beings in the atmosphere of every multiverse that exists that is disobedient to God. But let's look at yeast. Let's look at yeast and what they have here about yeast. Look at this. Look at this. Nutritional yeast renewal. Hazardous air pollutants is in the same terms as nutritional yeast. Certain new chemicals. Look at this. Chromosomal. What is a chromosome? What's a chromosome? Do you go look up what a chromosome is? Huh? And your chromosome that is in your DNA and all the microbacterial yeast that they are creating to interact so that when they flash their lights to have you uploaded in their virtual system, they'll be successful. Look at this stuff and all the stuff that it's in. Who fatty acids did they use in the dishwashing liquid? I remember I was on the truck the first time I saw, that's what made me stop using Caress body wash. That's what made me stop using Caress. I had to look at the water, and the water was moving, and it just continued to move. Everything was still in the water. The crystals of the, and I don't remember what location. I was in one of them mountainous, high altitude locations. So that's probably more than likely why I had to be over there somewhere near Colorado. And I sat there and I recorded it. I was like, what's going on? And then I experimented and saw it again. Let me change the word and see. And experimented and saw it again. Here we go. Living yeast. Chromosomal fermentation in your shampoo and our detergent and the metals. One man said the other day, I cannot give blood. I saw it somewhere, heard it somewhere. He said, I cannot give blood because I work with metals. What, you got too much iron? No, because of the amniocentesis and fatty acids and all the chromosomal. Look at this, the tetraoxyodocene. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? They got the sulfur scavenger. Huh? Look at the Easter eggs they got ready. Sulfur scavenger hunt. And what? The yeast. I told you, if I'm bringing something to you in this scripture and I'm looking at it at the Federal Register, the Federal Register works on, what did I tell you? All three levels: mind, body, and spirit. Just like the scripture does, just like when Jesus was talking. Say what, Grandma? What it said? Yes. What's a sulfur scavenger? And where did they put the sulfur scavenger? What food are you eating that they putting it in the sulfur scavenger? Even in your cars, they got chromosome yeast. Oh, all this must be in Elon's car. All of this right here must be in the, look, the hexafluoropropanate must be in the Tesla. All this is for Tesla. Motiva Enterprises. In line. And then they're not going to tell you the other ones. They said, we're not going to tell y'all and where we put this other stuff in, because it's in the salts. And Grandma thinks she getting away because she put salt on everything. She cleaned everything with salt. She thinks she's saved by the salt. I'm saved by the blood. There's power. Oh, power. There's power, wonder working power in the blood. Power in the blood. At the Last Supper, what did Jesus say? He said, study my blood. Take it in. Drink the knowledge. Eat the knowledge of your flesh and blood. Because when they come at the end, when your flesh will not matter no more, and they come for your light, it is because of what was in your flesh, in your blood, that they are able to be successful in being able to purchase your light if you make the wrong decision. I told my mother, I said, I stopped washing my hair with everything salt. What you wash your hair with? Salt. Salt and water. Your skin looks so good. What you use? Salt. Salt and water. I can take a picture of the text. Salt and water. Look, they got the colonies coming out too. The colonial chemicals. So that's enough. I just wanted to show you when I said yeast, and just because I was talking and reading the scripture, that it goes on all levels. Look at this yeast name. We are establishing myoglobin. They go into the globe. Myoglobin going to the globe. Myoglobin as the common or usual name for this color additive. The background color additive that is subject of this petition is stabilized product of controlled fermentation, the yeast, of non-pathogenic or non-toxicogenic strain of yeast, but it's used to transcend and transform your blood. It's called coma. And if they got a coma and you want to eat on something that got a coma in it, that's not a coma, that's Kamala. That's a Kamala. No, it's a Kamala, and a Gate Eya. They got a little girl name in there too. A cat, a comma, and an A with Pharaoh at the beginning and the Phi. Who was singing Phi in a song? Luther. Who? Kendrick. Phi. Okay, fee, fi, fo, fum. Look at that word right there. I can't make this up. Let me put it on the screen, just in case you can't see it. When it said, Jesus said, they yeast. You think I'm talking about food? Here, do you think they talking about food? Here, let's put this. You think they talking about food? If Jesus said, you think I'm talking about food? You think they talking about food? Now let's get back to it. Look at that. Break that down. Kamala, Gata, Aya, Fa. Y'all ain't listen to that song, Luther? Because that song, Luther, was revealed and released just for this event tomorrow. That song, Luther, was released just for that event tomorrow. You don't believe me? Y'all wait till I get to it. Look at this other information in regards to this yeast. Genetically engineered to express myoglobin protein, the principal coloring component. They going into your color. What color? Red and yellow and pink. And which color? Did they even specify the color? No mitochondria, globe or flat earth. Don't think you left out because you not a glober. They coming for the peachy pastors too. Peaches and the pastors. They coming for the peaches and the pastors too. What you thought? What you thought? Are you born again? Is your heart right? You're not going to accept the mark of the beast, are you? That's all I'm here to say to you and remind you, don't accept the mark of the beast. Study to show thyself approved. You don't believe in the Bible, you don't have to open up the Bible. If you do not believe in the Bible, you don't have to open up the Bible. Go to your Federal Register and go look and see what they say they doing to the people and what they got planned for the left behind. That's all you got to do. That's what Grandma encouraging you. I don't want to read the Bible. They switched up the words too many times. They don't even have the real scrolls. Oh, they left out this Bible and that. I don't want to read Dr. Malachi Z. York. Look at his record. I don't want to listen to Grandma, Who knows what she got going on? She crazy. No, don't worry about it. You don't have to stay over here. Go tell somebody, say, go, hey, come with me. Let's read and study the Federal Register. That's their tablets. I love the government so much. I want to read their Bible. And their Bible is the Federal Register. And in their Bible, they got all the plans for the left behind in the last days right here. Like I told you, that bridge that just fell the other day, that was already planned in Federal Register. They let you know, oh, we going to plan this. This is part of the infrastructure program. I bet you Gayle King, Katy Perry, what's his name, fiance, none of them went to the Federal Register to see before they signed that document. Gayle already planning interviews with Oprah when she get back. Oprah say, you know, baby, remember, I was your first love. You just don't forget when you come back. I get first dibs to interview you. You know whether she gonna make it back or not, because it sure say if things go as planned. Grandma, why are you doing that? Because in the Federal Register, the document saying health hazards, special hazards, all the different events that is going to happen when they open up that portal tomorrow before 9. If you go back in time and look at how things happen for Palm Sunday and scriptures, and don't worry about it. Don't worry. But you ain't got to listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to grandma, y'all. I didn't say that they're going to blow up. Or I don't know that. I can't tell you that. I can only go by what's here and written. Whatever happens when they open up the portal is supposed to begin a chain of reactions of events that is built around the simulation of them open up that portal and dedicating their 6 goddesses and their chromosomes and DNA codes into the atmosphere of light and darkness and quantum entanglement. So now let me go and talk to you about the blue origins now. Let's talk about the blue origin and what I see. So I could go down the list of names, right, about these beings. Katy Perry. If I tell you, I'm going to tell you something about Katy Perry. I don't know any of Katy Perry's songs, but that one song that I used to like with her and what's his name? Juicy. I don't know that artist. That's the first time I knew who he was or ever heard of him. And I haven't heard anything else about him. But that song she did with him that represented the dark horse and all that. I got to look for that song. I can't really remember it now. It's been placed somewhere deep in the darkness in the pits where it belonged. But that's the only song I know by her. No, that and the firework song, another firework song. That's 2 songs I know by her. That's it. When I say know a song, mean I know the whole song. But there's something about that song with, what's his name? Juicy, fruity. Let me look. What is his name? What's that song? Katy Perry songs. Is it Dark Horse? Yeah, Fruity Juicy J. First time I ever heard of him was that song, and I didn't hear nothing else about him after that song. But I liked that song. But it was something when I was driving on the truck, for some reason, that song just kept on in my system. It was something about that song. And then, so I could go down the list with her and her songs, but whatever it is about Katy Perry, it has to do with her DNA and her heritage. It has to do with her bloodline. Okay? Same thing with Gayle King. Same thing with Gayle King. And then I never knew how to pronounce that name. Nui Juan. That young lady with the slanted, look like she could be Asian. That name is prominent in the African names, but I know that name in connection to, I don't know if anybody remember the story that I told y'all when I stopped taking their medications. When I stopped taking their medications, this doctor, and I know I remembered him from Miami, but when he showed up to be my doctor in the last place that I was living as a truck driver, and I couldn't function anymore because I didn't had the stroke in my cerebellum and another some other physical issues. So you can see I heal well, but I had that stroke in my cerebellum, and he um, became a primary care, but he gave me this medication, and the way they gave me the medication, he gave me enough medication to last me a year, right? But when I first had the initial consultation with him, he says to me, he said, "You don't remember me? You don't know me?" And I was like, "No," but I'm looking at him trying to remember where I knew him from. And his last name is that same last name. So he says it again. He said, "You sure you've never met me before?" And I said, and it's the same thing happened with one of the disability doctors. I knew him well. But I act like I didn't know him. So he says it again. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I say yes, what is that going to change? If I say no, what is it going to change? But I can't say yes because I can't be sure where I know you from. So then he proceeds to give me this prescription of this experimental medication. And when I went to do the research, that's the thing. I stopped those days where a doctor gives me a prescription and I'm just going to take it. So when I go and I read the ingredients and read this prescription, it's a prescription for a medication for dogs. And it's an experimental medication, but the side effects and the percentile of side effects, especially for suicide and all that, was high. But the fact that it was like a tranquilizer for dogs right then, that was my last time. I said, I don't care what my body goes through. Everything I do gonna be natural. They can't get me to take another medication unless they force it to me. Or unless I'm in so much pain, I have to, like that last hospital. Say I was in so boy, that wire that they got on my mesh that I told y'all about. Anyways, enough of that. Enough about talking about me. But that name right there is how I'm connected to a name like that. But I would love to research on her last name. No. And then the Bo. That Bo name. Oh, it says Bo with an E. Hey, ooh wah, shoot them. Bo, if she ain't indigenous, oh, she's a rocket scientist. She was a rocket scientist. Should I go and read about her? And then the filmmaker, all of them, their names and their positions can make women proud, right? No, it is what's within their DNA and their heritage throughout each reset is why they were chosen. So I could go down that list with you. I could take the time and do that, but no, not grandma, because somebody else is going to do that. I don't have to do that part. This part right here, this is the part right here that right here. This part, y'all wait for it. Wait for it. You wait for it. Here it comes. Here it comes. This part right here. And stay with me, okay? You stay with me as I could do this. May be something interesting to you. You might want to stick around for. So again, let's exclude all of the women that Beso have, his fiance. She said, baby, I'll do anything for you. Of course. Huh? She wants the billions. Huh? I'll do anything. He said, will you go to space knowing that the chances of survival could be 90-10 or 90-20? Yes, but I trust you. I trust that your mechanics and your rocket scientists, engineers, and all that it'll work. I'll do it for you. And Mackenzie has been warning her. Mackenzie said, no, baby, look, no. And here he is, Beso. You don't want to listen to her. She tried to take all my money. You don't want to listen to her. She's crazy. She's a 70s baby. Don't you know about them 70s babies? Uh, and she's a Scot. You don't want to listen to her. Let's read, said the blind man. Grandma, you're not going to talk about those women. You're going to talk about her. Yes, you just wait for it. You just wait for it. She had an American Book Award. I'm skipping, look at y'all, I'm skipping all this information about her money, how much stake she holds in Amazon. I'm skipping all of that to get to a 2005 book she wrote on testing of Luther Albright. Didn't I tell y'all that song Luther is a seance and a connected song to the event that's taking place tomorrow? That song, Luther, by Kendrick Lamar. The reason why Kendrick has been, because he signed on to create a song to represent, whether he knew it or not, to represent their seance, to represent their ceremony of Solomon's house and Jeff Bezos sending these women who are supposed to be the reincarnate mothers for their new shepherd. No? Okay. Well, anyways, let me read this a little bit about this book, or a lot about this book, Testing of Luther Albright. Y'all want to listen to this story? Because I don't believe she just wrote this story just to write it. I don't believe she wrote this story. I believe she knew some information and she already has a whole contract. Yeah, if you get rid of me, I got stuff hidden all over this land that will tie you to it. And I will refuse. I'm not going to space for you. I have a son. Testing of Luther Albright is a debut novel by Miss Mackenzie Bezos, who in 2019 changed her name to Mackenzie Scott. She published it in 2005 by Fourth Estate, an imprint of Harper Collins. Plot. Luther Albright is a civil engineer who designs dams in Sacramento, California. He lives with his wife, Liz, Elizabeth, Liz, Eli, Liz, Luther. Y'all know what? She is the queen of taking a script and putting a veil over the true story. Gotta be. Just off this first part of the plot. He lives with his wife, Liz, and teenage son, Elliot, in a house that he built. Luther is emotionally reserved with no friends except for Elon. And the novel traces how this alienates him from his wife and child over a course of Elliot's coming of age. At the beginning of the novel, at the beginning of this ceremony, at the beginning of the novel, an earthquake hit Sacramento while Luther and Elliot spend the summer remodeling the attic above the house. The attic above the house. Elliot is entering adolescence, and this project marks a symbolic shift in their relationship. Luther notices that he has started growing facial hair and gives Elliot the reins to build and install the plumbing for a new bathroom independently. Wait a minute. For the toilet, for the bowl, for the basin of hell. For the basin of hell. Elliot starts to test Luther's emotional boundaries, beginning with haphazardly operating power tools. So now Elon is taking and doing experiments on human beings without boundaries, haphazardly just doing all kind of things, using every power accessible to him. The power of the government, the power of above, the cool frequency, the ka frequency. No? Okay, let's continue. Eliot chooses Luther's father as his subject for a biography he has to write at school. Which school? The House of Solomon. So Elon chooses Bezo to be his counterpart in the war of the brainiacs, in the war for the billions, the war of space. Who could get this done in space better? All to raise their new shepherd. Throughout their projects, Eliot questions Luther about what his father was like, and Luther routinely evades these questions. Luther interprets this as Eliot challenging him, and the questions continue throughout the novel. I would love to read this novel and see the interactions that she noticed and realized between Eliot and Jeff. Jeff's real name is Jorgeson. He was born Jorgeson. No first name or last name, Jorgeson. Georgie Porgy. Georgie Porgy pudding pie kissed the girls and made them cry. Georgie Porgy is happening tomorrow. Kissed the girls and made them cry. When the girls went out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. Luther leaves a shaving set by the sink for Eliot. The next morning, Eliot comes downstairs completely bald. This shocks Luther and Liz, but they don't react. Around this time, Liz expresses that she worries what she and Luther will talk about once Eliot moves out, and that one day she might realize that she doesn't know that she doesn't know Luther. At work, Luther is given a prestigious corner office with rumors of a promotion. This frustrates Luther's workplace rival, Belsky. Oh, so now they put what's his name in the that's what's his name, Zuckerberg. Luther and Liz are awoken one night to a sound from a girl from Eliot's high school calling to him from their yard, and Eliot telling her to leave. Liz invites the girl in, and Luther convinces Eliot to come downstairs and talk to her. Luther and Eliot walk in to see the girl giving Liz a bolder, shorter haircut, and the parents leave the teenagers to talk. The girl eventually becomes Eliot's first girlfriend. Wait a minute. to see the girl giving Liz a bolder, shorter haircut, and the parents leave the teenagers to talk. So Liz invites the girl in the house. And then all of a sudden, the girl becomes like her best buddy. She's giving her a haircut. The girl eventually leaves. The girl eventually becomes Elliot's first girlfriend. At Elliot's request, Luther brings him to work and introduces him to his colleagues. Luther watches as Elliot jokes around with Belsky about his bald head, and Belsky makes a dig about one of Luther's dams getting a routine inspection following the earthquake. Luther and Elliot go for a drink, and Elliot questions Luther about why he doesn't defend himself against Belsky's criticisms. Elliot then spends more and more time at Belsky's house after befriending his children. Elliot then spends more time at Belsky's house after befriending his children. This bothers Luther, but doesn't interfere with it. There is a the pipeline, gas leak in the house, and Luther suspects the cause may be from renovations Elliot did by himself that summer. He doesn't tell Elliot this at risk of offending him. Around this time, Luther wakes Liz up one night to suggest she enroll in training to become counselor once Elliot moves out. To become a counselor once Elliot moves out, something she always wanted to do. Liz is insulted and clarifies she was worried about them as a couple once Elliot leaves, not herself. She does, however, start volunteering at a crisis center, which results in her spending less and less time at home. Meanwhile, the media begin to cover Luther's damn routine inspections. Luther receives a phone call from a journalist whom he evades. Elliot continues to ask Luther questions about his father, specifically asking if there was ever a time his father scared him. Luther continues to avoid the question, but reflects on a time his father came home with a gun and his estrangement from his father. Luther's flashbacks proceeded throughout the novel reveal that over time his father's behavior became shiftier and that he tried to taunt Luther's mother, not only by bringing home a gun, but also by pretending he was having an affair. Elliot visits Luther at work and asks him why he hasn't responded to the increase in media criticism about the dam. When Elliot leaves, the journalist calls again, and Luther impulsively tells the journalist that the department is only doing the inspection in order to get funding because there is little other work to do. The next day, Luther's boss threatens to relocate him to Fresno as punishment, but Luther resigns instead. Luther notices one day that Belsky's pick Elliot up. Luther notices one day when Belsky's pick Elliot up that they have been teaching him how to drive. He surprises Elliot by buying him his first car, his first Tesla. Luther continues to receive promising job offers and turns all of them down, including one from a former colleague, Nathan, whose firm's projects often require overseas travels. Elliot tells Luther that he knows that Belsky got Luther the job offer with Nathan. When taking out the trash one night, Luther notices the classified section from a newspaper with several part time jobs circled. When he eventually confronts Liz about it, she admits that she only interviewed with jobs just to see if she's still qualified as being useful. Eventually, Luther returns to Nathan to ask if the job was still available. Nathan mentions Belsky, but Nathan does not remember who Belsky's is, revealing that Elliot had lied about Belsky getting him the job in order to provoke Luther. The narrative told from Luther's perspective decades later reveals that Liz eventually dies of cancer. A couple of nights before her death, Luther tells her she is the most important person he knows. Then, back in the story's narrative time, Elliot reveals that he found Luther's father's gun, which Luther had been keeping in the house the entire time. But Luther doesn't elaborate. Later that day, Luther discovers that Elliot had been tampering with the pipes to cause the sewage gas leak all along. He confronts Elliot, the angriest he's ever been, and then returns downstairs to fix it. As they grew older, Elliot and his family visit Luther, now a widower, less and less until they only see him once a year at Thanksgiving. Hmm. Let me see something. Let's see something. Let's see something. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to see who's in that image. Who are those people? Uh-oh. They talking about that. Y'all give me a minute. I'm doing some research on something. Give me a second. Okay, so this is a Jerusalem Post. Let's look at Jerusalem Post. Give me one moment. Chief Charlie Palmer. I went to school with a Palmer. Told you I went to school with a lot of Jews. Palmer. So let's see who. Let's see, said the blind man. Checking out something. Nope. Try this again. Copy. And then Oh, it says chef. It looked like it said chief to me. Okay. I ain't interested in you right now. So let's see. Chef. Let's try this again. Let's see, said the blind man. Grandma, what are you doing? American Talent Manager, 1945. Was directed, Talent in Hollywood, featured 2013. Mm. All right. And who is this little man? Let's go to the con. Go to the con. That's probably where I needed to start off in the first place. Who is this con? Who are you, con? Oh, there he is. There is the information. Oh, they put the pink on there. There's the information. This little man here, Thanksgiving and her book. Let's go. It is Morris Kahn, huh? Morris Kahn. Oh my goodness. Jeff, let's see. What type of information does this Morris Kahn, Israeli billionaire who lives in South Africa, you know what? Him and Elon, daddy, them probably all. He's the founder of the Oric Group, Telecom Investments, South Africa to Israel with his wife Jackie Malone. Ooh, the Malone. Benjamin and David is their children. He's a con. Benjamin and David. Oh, they trying to do the whole story over. Huh? If he is the father, he's the Morris Khan, and he got the Benjamites, the sons of the Benjamites, and the sons of David in the bloodline, and they coming straight out of South Africa. He's an African Israeli, and he is the choral world. Didn't I tell y'all about the choral? God would never sacrifice the choir just to say the choral, sacrifice the choral just to say the choir. But Morris Conway, thank you. What's your name? She been trying to warn people, but they would probably think she crazy. Bezos would have her out to be crazy. They'd had her in a, what you call it. She can only write it in a book. There it is right there. There is the founder. Remember I asked y'all the other day. Oh, I'm trying to put on 2 pairs of glasses. Remember when I said there gotta be, who is the head Israeli? And then I said, is it Yahya or YY? That was just yesterday that I said that. That was just yesterday. Through Core World, he founded several marine parks around the world, including an underwater observatory in Eilat, Israel. He is the founder of Golden Pages, the telephone directory in Israel, Amdocs, which is a multinational telecommunications technology company headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri. Oh my goodness, Amdocs. He received a doctorate of philosophy honoris causa. Okay. Benjamin Kahn, who is a marine biologist and environmental activist. 1930 South Africa to a Jewish family. He is the eldest child of Philip and Betty Kahn. Philip and Betty Kahn. Philip, Philip and BT. Philip and Betty Kahn. He was an active member of the Zionist youth group. Hi, the Zionist youth group. Oh, Jeff Bezos' best friend, huh? The one he only see once a year now, huh? Who founded everything and trying to send them women up there to raise they devil demon, huh? Oh, goodness gracious. Khan supports the work of Save a Child's Heart, an organization that brings Israeli doctors around the world to perform life-saving surgery, but they can blow up hospitals in Israel, right? They can blow up hospitals. Israel can blow up hospitals all over the world. They can blow up Ghazian hospitals so children can't have a chance to get their heart saved in hospitals in Gaza. Morris Khan initiative is a $4 million program to help develop pioneering cancer research to Tel Aviv University. The initiative aim is to develop 3D cancer modeling of cancer tumors. Big Data Maccabee. The reason why the Maccabee was taken from the book of the Bible is because Khan got it. Morris Khan got it. The Big Data Maccabee, founded with the contributions from Khan, aims to develop medical professionals diagnose illnesses using information collected during blood tests, imaging, and diagnostic testings through semen funds. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh, Khan is also the main donor of space. He's the main donor of space for the Israeli organization. Beersheba. There go Beersheba. There's Beersheba. There's the Beersheba, y'all. There's Beersheba. Was the first Israeli mission in deep sea. SpaceX, Falcon 9, moon on 11th. He aimed to land on the moon at April 11, 2019. They was trying to do this sacrificial ceremony way back then, 2019, April 11th, around the same time. Now we in the same season at the same time. They always trying to do they sacrificial. They were unsuccessful in 2019. Huh? He got Ben-Hur, not Ben-Gur. Khan is a supporter of Ben Gurion University, a national institute of biotechnology of the Negevs. The Negevs. The Morris Khan Institute for Human Immunology is funded by Khan. In conjunction with Wise Men, you want to be aware, the Three Wise Men Institute. This same tree right here is on YY Jacobson, what you call it? The Three Wise Men Institute. He founded the Khan Family Research Center for Systems Biology of Human Cell. The Book of Maccabee was hidden now. What's your name? The young elder. Now you want to know the real reason why the Book of Maccabee was taken out of the Bible? Because Khan took it. Khan family got it right here. Khan family. This man, Jeff Bezos, whatever he is to Jeff Bezos, that Jeff Bezos' wife was telling in the book about Luther. He sponsors And Omo, y'all know who the Omos are? Omo Valley and Jinka Ethiopia based project. Jinka Eye Camp. You need eyes to see. Is you a wise man that need eyes to see? Ah, now the Maccabee Health Data System is about to be in conjunction with this semen that went into the Hudson that they had to pull out. Huh? Yes, sir. Yes, it is. You don't have to believe what Grandma's saying. The Maccabee World Union is an international Jewish sports organization spanning 5 continents and more than 50 countries with some 400,000 members. The Maccabee World Union organizes Maccabee Games, prominent international Jewish athletics. Mm-hmm. Bonai Zion Prize. Personal life. Ooh. Ooh. Confessions. What did it say? Confessions of a startup junkie. Current cancer in 3 dimensions. Core World, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. See there? All the studying that I've been doing and research to study to show myself approved right before they final ceremony of the crossover, y'all. Because ain't a Jew like this don't believe that Jesus rose and is coming back. If you go and ask Morris Kahn, did Jesus rise and coming back? He gonna make some why Jacobson jokes. He gonna make some why rabbi jokes. Huh? Now I don't know what to say about. I don't know nothing about Lauren Sanchez. I want to look her up because she looking like a man. She really do. And I think they're sending all women, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is that they're doing because they believe in the Rainbow Coalition. They believe they are products of Solomon's house, Solomon's 72 demons, Solomon's 700 wives, and 300 concubines. They are products that work to kill Jesus. They stood against Jesus with the Sadducees, and I told you who the Sadducees are. They are the sadists and the hucksters. So I'm just saying, let's look a little bit. Let me look. Y'all know I'm not going to come to y'all with scripture on this dirty digging that I'm doing. I need to clean my hands when I finish, and then I'll probably come back later. Let's go and see what Miss Lauren. Now, why did he choose? Why did Jeff choose? Why didn't Jeff go himself? Why he sending these 6 women, and why is he so hooked on? She should have said, you know what? You better marry me before you send me to space. He probably told her, I'll marry you when you come back. He probably said, you know what? I'll marry you when you come back. If you make it back, you sign this paper, you make it back, then we'll get married. Lauren, you really gonna take that ride, huh? You gonna take that ride, Lauren? Ooh, let's see. Let's see, said the blind man. Let's read a little bit about Lauren. Did they have any information? She famous, so it should be something here. Okay. She was not a 70s baby. She was born right at the brink of the 60s. She's a Wendy Williams, Lauren Wendy Sanchez. Sanchez. Oh, you speak Spanish? She's from New Mexico. Albert, you are a United States citizen, a Mexican, and a Sanchezian. You's a Sanchezy. Okay, okay, I get it now. I get it. I get it. I get it. So let's read a little bit about why you may have been chosen. But how come you ain't make him to marry you before you go to get on a spaceship that you know the chances of survival is 90-10? Huh? 10% chance that you will make it back. Now, why would you sign your life? Who you trying to be the matriarch for your people, Lauren? Let's see how many children. She has 3 children. Did you talk this over with your children? Huh? You went to the North High School? You went to the Del Norte, huh? You were diagnosed with dyslexia. All Spanish people have dyslexia. I'm trying so hard to learn English, but can't get it right. That ain't nothing. No, you ain't had no serious until you. Why would they want to send a dyslexic to space to be the matriarch or the mother of raising the devil? That's not true. I don't believe that for nothing in the world. I don't believe that. You was on Hot Beauties. Oh, Hot Bodies. Oh, you have a hell is hot body, huh? Why would they choose you? Let's see. You received the Elling Harvelson Vertical Flight Hall of Fame Award. Okay. Living Legends of Aviation Award. You were a pilot. Okay. Learning how to fly at the age of 40. You founded the Black Ops Aviation. First feet. Okay. So wait a minute. You call you black? Lauren. So you black too. You black. Not brown. Black Ops Aviation. You founded the Black Ops Aviation in 2023. You became engaged to Jeff. You are not only a Black Ops Aviation specialist, you are a journalist and an author. Okay, okay. Fox is in 11. The 1011 is right there in y'all face, y'all. Good day, LA, huh? You always showed up on Larry King Live. The King's in the house. The Joys are in the house, and the Biz, Square Biz, ain't it? Hmm. Let's see, said the blind man. Early life. I'm trying to figure out why he chose you. It's your parents. It has to be with your parents. Living Legends of Aviation. But why he won't marry you before he send you into space? Bezos Earth Fund. Okay, so you're the vice president of the Earth Fund, promoting their greening America's cities. And we know cities is not cities. The greening is the green, like crystal. What does that see? Crystal City. Crystal City, Virginia. Crystal City, Virginia. Okay, so you work with Bezos Day One Fund, which helps homeless families with housing and free preschool education. You constantly make trips across the United States and Mexico border with This Is About Humanity, an organization dedicated to providing support for separated and reunified families at the border. Personal life. Your father, Tony Gonzalez. Your father was Wait. Oh, your son, Nico, was born to. So you are the baby mama of Anthony David. There's the David name again, Gonzalez. So you have DNA. So maybe it's not about you. It is about your son, huh? Anthony David Gonzalez. And then you married. Wait, if you married Patrick in 2005, what year? Okay. Did you ever get a divorce? Endeavor Talent Agency. And your daughter is Aya. A little girl would come, huh? She was born in 2008. Evan, Elia, and Nico. Patrick White Shell. In 2018, she had an extramarital affair with businessman Jeff Bezos while they were both married. Oh, so they need a whore in space. Okay. I'm just saying it's biblical. It fits the script. It fits the script why Bezos would send her based on like Bathsheba. Remember how Bathsheba was? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if any woman was to take pride in the fact that Lauren Sanchez is going, if you were going to look at her history, is she born again? Did she change? So now I could see why he wouldn't marry you, because you probably said it too. Like, you gonna marry me before I sign these papers and go to space? I'm literally taking a chance on my life for you, and I'm leaving my children behind. Now, what are you really like? No, you know how the scripture goes. He probably again promised her he'll marry her when she come back. Yep, there it is. There it is. There it is, baby girl. Huh? Give your heart and life to God tonight and change your mind, because he not married. If you make it back, that's what all of the stuff says. If it is successful, if it is a success. Now, if it is a success, he still ain't gonna marry you. But the chances that they want it to be a success because of your children. Did you read the fine print? Let's see what Patrick doing right now. Oh, Patrick looks sick. Patrick, let's see what Patrick is doing right now, because his two children. Did you read the fine print, Patrick? Rewriting Hollywood script. Adi Emmanuel. There's the Emmanuel. Oh my goodness. Oh, Academy of Motion Pictures of Art and Sciences. Oh, oh goodness. He became engaged to Chilean Australian actress Pia Miller in 2020. He divorced Lauren after she cheated, and then he became engaged. They got married in 2021. Hey, White Cell, did you check the paperwork uh, on her insurance? Uh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So let's go back down. McKinsey released a joint statement that they would be getting a divorce after 25 years together. In February 2019, Bezos published a statement alleging that National Enquirer publisher American Media Inc. had attempted to blackmail and extortion in connection with Bezos' affair with Sanchez. In April 2019, Bezos' divorce was finalized, and Sanchez and Whitesell filed for divorce, which finalized October 2019. In 2020, Sanchez was commonly described as Bezos' girlfriend. On May 22nd, 2023, Sanchez and Bezos became engaged. Oh, girl. Mm. Okay, let's see who next on the list. Why they was chosen. It's about her children. With her, it's about her children and the insurance policy and um her stakeholding in all these that she have a part in. The new Shepherd program. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to the rocket scientists. Aisha, you are the best friend. So they had to have a Bahamian bloodline. That's what y'all. So you think we have crushed whatever it is that y'all planning to do with the Bahamian blood? That's done. That's over and done with. So, baby girl, you might want to be saved and give your heart, because right now, at this very moment, if you decide to turn you will evade what they have ready for you for the pits of hell. So she's a Bahamian American aerospace engineer, founder of STEM Advocate. Bowie is a recipient of NASA Equal Employment Opportunity Medal, U.S. Women's Chamber of Commerce Emerging Star Award, Virginia Business. Wait a minute. Let me see something. The bow. She was born in Michigan. I'm thinking. I'm not going to speak on her. All this stuff that I see about fuel burn and all of that, and sensors. Prime Minister Philip Davis was a special guest. This when Kamala Harris went to sit down to try to talk to the Bahamians, and no one had been there for over 50 years from the United States. So I'm not going to say anything about her. Mm-hmm. Nope. Nope. Boy, don't take that flight, girl. Let's see. Oh, they done got me blocked. They done stopped me. They not letting me hit the screens. Am I still live? Am I still live? That's what they was waiting on. They was waiting on me. They know. They was waiting on me to say something. There's nothing for me to say on that one. Huh? See, they won't let me hit it. They won't look. Wait, can I show y'all? They will not let me switch up the screen. They will not let me go forward. There it is. I can move now. Yeah, they're not letting me access the links. And they must be feeling some type of way that I didn't say anything about Aisha Bow. Huh? That's what they were waiting on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can only take the truth and see the stuff that I see right there. Uh, on Miss what's her name? It's there and it's written. If it's false information, she and Jeff would have been took it down. Her and Jeff would have been took it down. Now, how about that? Now, how about that? Let me go ahead, y'all. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and get off here and I'm going to come back later. And the reason why I'm going to come back later because I'm going to come back with scripture. I'm going to come back with scripture. I was going to talk about no, I think I covered almost everything. I covered almost everything, but I'm going to come back with scripture later. I'm going to go take a break. I'll go eat my watermelon and my grapes. Mm, greater light.